Namaste friends, welcome back to YogaCandi. My name's Candice and today I have a quick Vinyasa Flow Yoga workout for you. So it's not going to be the easiest class in the world. There's going to be a lot of planks. We're going to do some side planks as well. So if you're a total beginner and this is going to be too much for you, then perhaps head on back into the video gallery and choose something else. But of course feel free to give it a go and perhaps you'll surprise yourself. We're often a little stronger than we realise. The other thing is, if you've been doing yoga for a while and you're a beginner and you just want to give it a go, then take the beginner versions of each pose. So instead of doing full plank, drop the knees and take an easier plank until you build the strength to be able to follow along with the video completely. So let's start off in our downward facing dog. So hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes and send your hips up into the sky. And don't worry if your downward facing dog doesn't look like mine and your heels are not touching the ground yet. Perhaps with time and building flexibility, they may just be able to come all the way down. But for now, be where you are. Just make sure you're pushing your shoulder blades apart. You're sending your tailbone towards the sky and you're sucking in your belly. So from your down dog, let's start to just walk our legs to warm up our hamstrings just for a moment. So bend and straighten through the legs. When you're ready, become still and we're going to take 3 deep breaths before we begin. Take 1 more inhale. On an exhale, roll forward into a plank, vertebrae by vertebrae. Once you get to plank, hold your plank, sucking in the belly. Keep your legs nice and strong, lifting up through the kneecaps. And now exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do that 3 times. So in your own time, you're going to inhale onto your tippy toes and you're going to exhale vertebrae by vertebrae into your plank. Feel free to take an easy plank at any point. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 more. Exhale, roll into your plank. Inhale back to downward facing dog. Take 1 more. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale to downward facing dog. Lift up through the shoulder blades, suck in the belly. Exhale, downward facing dog. From your dog, let's slowly take a little walk to the front of the mat. And meet me at the top in a forward fold. You can bend your knees as much as you want to. Hold onto each elbow. Allow everything to be heavy. Suck in the lower belly. Inhale, halfway lift, look up, exhale, fold. Scrape the hands along the floor and come into your chair pose. Inhale, look up at the fingertips and come up to standing. Exhale your hands to the side of the body. Now lift up through the left foot. We're going to come into our warrior 3, bending forward. You can extend through the back leg. Don't worry if you fall, look at something that isn't moving, hands to the heart center or alongside the body. Feel free to grab a block and to hold on to a block if you would like to. Take one more deep breath. Inhale that leg back up to the chest. And exhale down. Same thing on the other side. Give everything a little shake if you would like to. And inhale the right leg to the sky. Exhaling it back behind you. Lift up through the standing knee. Lift up through the glute of the lifted leg. Take the arms alongside the body if you would like to. Look at something that isn't moving. And inhale that knee back to the body. Exhale down. Give the legs a little shake. Inhale, hands to the sky. Look up. Exhale, fold forward from the hips. Clasp the hands behind the back and allow them to fall up and over the head. Release the grasp of the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Plant the hands and step back into plank. Suck in that lower belly. Push up through the shoulder blades. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a child's pose if you would like to. Otherwise, let's hold our dog for 3 breaths. 3 nice, deep Ujjayi breaths. From here, let's wave forward into our plank, vertebrae by vertebrae. We're going to come over into a side plank. Keep that grounded hand nice and strong into the ground. Lift up through the other hand up towards the sky. You can keep your feet stacked or you can have them both on the ground for extra support. Take another deep inhale. Look up towards the lifted hand. And come back down to your plank. Exhale either all the way to the belly or to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a child's pose in between if you would like. Otherwise, become still for 3 breaths in your down dog. Now wave forward into your plank. Keep that plank nice and strong. Roll over onto one side and inhale. Lift one hand up into the sky. Look at the fingertips. Keep everything nice and strong and long. Take one more deep breath. Exhale down to plank. Hold your plank. And let's exhale all the way down to the belly. Nice and slowly. Inhaling for baby cobra or full cobra. Exhale down. Rest your hands onto your forearms just for a moment. Become still. Plant your hands once again and it's inhale, lifting our bums all the way up to downward facing dog. Take another couple of breaths in your downward facing dog. And jump forward so that your feet land on the opposite side of each hand. So bend your knees, look forward and hop. So your knees are pointing out to the long edges of the mat and your toes are pointing outwards as well. We're coming down for our Malasana pose. Allow the elbows to come in between each knee, pushing the knees apart. Sit up nice and tall through the spine, suck in the belly and close your eyes, just enjoying this hip flexor stretch just for a couple of moments. From here, beginners, just do what you can. We're going to play around with crow, but before we do, take your hands as wide as a bit wider than shoulder distance. And we're just going to rock forward and play around with lifting the feet off the ground. This isn't quite crow, this is just a little bit of a balancing pose here. Lifting the bum, lifting the feet, just rocking forward onto the arms, getting a feeling of that motion. A feeling of that motion of coming into crow pose. Don't worry, you're not going to fall and hit your head on the ground. Just play around with rocking forward and back on the arms with the legs. You can even just do little mini ones, coming forward, slightly lifting the legs and coming back down. Take a couple more and then we're going to play around with our crow. One more. Now bring the feet in towards each other. Take the hands shoulder distance apart. Lift up through the legs. You can even straighten the legs. Start to bend the arms. Beginners, just stay here and play around with this, leaning forward. Don't even worry about lifting the legs at all. Or perhaps you can play around with lifting one leg and then the other. Just having fun with it. The rest of you that are ready to give crow a good go, get your knees as close towards the armpits as possible, suck in the lower abdomen and start to lean forward, lifting the feet off the ground, sucking the belly in and bring the feet back down. Come down onto your bums, everybody. Give your knees a little hug in. We're just going to do that one more time. So if you didn't get it the first time round, perhaps you will on the second round. Take an exhale through the mouth. And a nice big inhale through the mouth. You've got this. Let's do this. Beginners, play around with whatever it is that works for you. Otherwise, hands shoulder distance apart. Spread through the fingertips, lift up through the base of the hands so that you're creating a little bit of a cup, almost like a suction. Or try to imagine you've got a little fairy underneath each hand and you don't want to squish them. So lift up through the bum. Bring the hands either closer towards the body or a little further away, whichever is more comfortable for you. Start to get those knees high up into the armpits, as high up as possible. Start to lean forward, suck in the belly, and lift off. Look at a spot that isn't moving. Draw the feet up towards the bum. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale down. Brilliant. Come back down to your bum. Extend your legs out long in front of you. Lift up through the kneecaps and actually lift those heels off the ground so that the legs are so engaged that it's almost as if the heels are floating off the ground. Close your eyes, become still. You can always place your hands behind your back. Take one hand in front of you and give that hand a little stretch, pulling the fingertips towards the body. And then point the fingertips towards the ground and pull them in the opposite direction. Do the same with the other hand. And take a little fold forward. Only go as far as you can. The main thing is to keep your spine nice and long. Take a couple of deep breaths wherever you are. And release. Bring your feet up so that your knees are raised up towards the sky. We're going to do a little boat pose quickly. So start to lean backwards. Beginners, keep your hands behind your knees. Lift the feet off of the ground. Beginners can stay there. The rest of you can always extend the arms out. Perhaps even extend the legs up to the sky. Take a couple of deep breaths. And release. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling up into our boat. Look up towards the ceiling, but not too high, just so your neck is neutral with the spine. Exhale down. 1 more, inhale boat. Exhale down. Last pose, we're going to roll all the way down onto the spine. Take your time rolling vertebrae by vertebrae until you're on the ground. This will feel amazing. We're going to do a couple of bridges and then we're going to end with a wheel pose. So beginners, stick with bridge, don't even attempt wheel if you've never had it in your practice before. So we're bringing our heels up towards our bums. Knees hip distance apart, and you want to keep the knees engaged the whole way through our bridge. So we're going to inhale, lifting the hips up to the sky. You can always tuck those shoulders underneath the body and interlace the hands behind the back. Lift up nice and strong through the hips. Close your eyes and hold this for a couple of breaths. Exhale, release the grip if it was behind your back, and vertebrae by vertebrae come all the way back down to the spine. Exhale out the mouth. Take a moment just to come back into the body. We're going to do that 1 more time. So inhale, lift the hips up to the sky, interlace the hands behind the back if you would like to. Hips up to the sky. Keep the knees drawn towards each other, hip distance apart. Take a couple of deep breaths. Release the grip and slowly back down. Beginners, take 1 more bridge if you would like to. Anybody who wants to take a wheel as their last back bend, and feel free to join me. Keep your feet where they are, hands by the ears, elbows up towards the sky, and we're first going to come up onto the crown of the head. So take your time until you're comfortable, then inhale, lift up onto the crown of the head. And then when you're ready, lift all the way up into your wheel. And you can play around with moving the feet, perhaps coming up onto the tippy toes, rocking a little forward, pushing that heart up to the sky. Take 1 more deep breath in your wheel. Exhale all the way back down to the crown of the head, nice and slowly. Release the knees And come on back down to the spine. From here, lift the feet up to the sky. We're going to end with a little happy baby and then Shavasana. So open the legs wider than the armpits. Grab onto either the shins, the outer corners of the feet, and pull the legs down towards the armpits. Keep the lower back flush against the ground, as well as the tailbone. And release your happy baby. Now find a nice comfortable Shavasana, so you're extending the legs a little wider than hip distance apart. Arms a few inches away from the body. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath the body. Have a little wiggle if you need to. Allow the palms to face up towards the sky as well as your face. Keep your eyes closed. I'm going to be here with you for 1 minute, but you're more than welcome to stay as long as you like in Shavasana. Let's take this moment for complete silence. If any thoughts come into your head, allow them to pass. Allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm. Feel the rise and fall of the chest. Pay all your attention to how the body's feeling and to the sounds and rhythm of your breath. I'll be back with you in 1 minute. Enjoy and relax. For those of you wanting to stay in Shavasana, just allow my voice and my words to pass. If you're ready to end your practice with me, then start to wiggle the fingertips and the toes, nice and gently, and then rotate the wrists and the ankles in one direction, and then in the other. Inhale the hands above the head. Extend through the body like you're waking up first thing in the morning. Still with the eyes closed, let's roll over onto one side of the body. Take a nice deep inhale here. Then push yourself up into a comfortable seat. With your eyes still closed, make your way into a seat of your choice. Sit up nice and tall through the spine. Roll your shoulders back and down. Take your hands to your heart center, rub your palms together and create a nice warm friction between them. Place your palms over the eyes. Open the eyes behind the palms, looking from side to side. Release the palms from the eyes. Bow your head to your hands and to your heart center. Thank yourself for showing up on the mat today. I really hope you've all enjoyed the class. Until next time, namaste. Everybody, I hope you've enjoyed that. I feel very energized and I hope you do too. And don't worry, beginners, if you didn't manage with crow or if any of the poses were too much, then I'm sure you still did a fantastic job. Don't worry, your body will get there. You will get stronger and you'll get more flexible. If you guys would like to connect on a deeper level with me, then sign up to my newsletter on YogaCandi.com. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook, where we can share pictures, ideas, and come up with video ideas together as well. So let's get to know each other. Until next time, everyone, have a beautiful day. Namaste.